Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again for a Carabao Cup special. John MAISY'S show back again, and I got my favourite podcaster, the EBT MAISY. Welcome back.
Good evening, John. Thanks for having me on. I hope you are well as well.
Champion, and please get well soon, Queen MAISY, because we love you, and we do the best we can, and
I'm 1,000 times better than what I was already, so that's the main thing. I'll be back on my channel again on Sundays because I'll do a calling show. So for the Carabao Cup.
Fantastic! I'll be there as well. By the way, to call in as well from Wembley. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, please have to hit the like button, also hit the subscribe button as well. If you like to super chat, then just give the channel what the channel is worth. And if you like to become a member, it's just 99p as well. So we go for the comments straight away. And big up to Bush, by the way. Hi to Bush. And hi to Luca as well. Big up to Luca, by the way, big Arsenal fan. And big up to Sophia, just been on the channel. Thank you so much, Sophia, to have you on the channel. And she's got an amazing channel. Do check out Sophia's football talk as well. It is absolutely amazing. She's very, very cool as well. So thanks again, Sophia. Big up to Ravi. Big up to Box Office Mace. She is certainly that as well. And big up to Ravi as well. You guys are smashing it and neat. Thank you so much indeed, Ravi. And big up to Devils as well. Hello, John Boy, Queen MAISY, Red Devils names on the trophy on Sunday. And you know what it is, right? I mean, we're not going to give up without a fight, let's be real. Can't be scared of these new team anymore. Big up to the funky intro track. I got a new one as well, but I tried to download it, but unfortunately, it's too big as well, so I need to speak to her as well. It is Sasha Jones from America. And Mace the Confession in 90 shirt. Yo.
It's my favourite shirt.
Oh, bless you. It suits you. It suits you. And 2001 Man U shirt. It certainly is. And Loving Retro shirts after Luca. And Sporting's got to play Arsenal.
In the Europa League. It's not. That's all I'm going to say. Not good. Yeah. It's not good.
Oh, no. I'm not good. And thoughts on Man United fans thinking they've already won the Carabao Cup with Liam. We're going to come on to that one later on as well. Maybe to answer that question. I'm going to meet Paulinho. And we got one from Leslie. Big up to Leslie. Good to see you back, MAISY.
Thank you.
And we have 5 shirt, MAISY. Hope you get well soon. That's in Sophia.
Thank you.
And we got one from Luca, the big gooner. And then we've got my guy, Greg. So, Sinclair. Now, I'll work with him, right, in a tire company. This guy is a Bristol City fan, massive Bristol City fan, and he is fantastic. What a guy he is. He loves random stuff, but big up to Craig, by the way, and give him a big shout out in the chat as well, please. Hi to I Like Coffee, and John, and Mason and all. And question of both, which team scores the first goal? We're going to come on to that one later on, Ravi. But we do that. We've got one from Liam as well. And the question from MAISY as well. For some Man U fans thinking they've already won the Carabao Cup.
I think for me, it's just probably more over cockiness from the fan base. But I know I've seen it from both ends, not just Man United. I've also seen it from Newcastle as well. But I think you've just got to have that little bit of confidence. For me, it's whoever is the better team at the end of the day. I don't really like to, for instance, like say, "Oh, we've got it," because every time when I have said it in the past, it's never gone my way. I must be honest, but I know there definitely has to be one winner. But hats off to both teams because we've both had an amazing Carabao Cup tournament.
Yeah.
So whoever wins is rightful winners either way.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And you know what, right? I just feel confident. Like, I know people say that United are looking good. But the thing is, though, in Newcastle as well, we're going to Wembley are not on good form at all, really. Too many draws, and we lost last week, and that's to make it even worse. But we're going to go there, and we're going to give it a right go. I truly believe this could be our time. We haven't won a trophy for 68 years in the domestic, and we haven't won. We won the Fairs Cup back in 1969, and Craig will say as well, it's different Gala Cup as well. It's the Reject Cup, whatever it is, sort of thing. But he'll probably say in the chat as well. So Craig's a good mate of mine. And question of both, which team scores the first score? That's going to be so crucial, I think. And it's going to be so key. Whoever gets the first score, then it's going to take control of that game and got to chase the game as well, which Newcastle are pretty good at chasing the game. We've done it before, right? And
so is Man United as well. We've chased it as well. We've gone from losing 1-0 like the last night's game with Barcelona. We were losing 1-0 at half time, and then by the time it got to full time, it was 2-1. So I think we are great on the counter attack if needed to be. But I think either team, even if whoever does score first, it's still, for me, it's depending more on that second half for me, because we're so much better in that second half play. I've not watched every single game in Newcastle, so I can't. What I have watched, I think you are better in the first half than the second half, and for us, we're better in the second half than the first.
Yeah, absolutely. We start well, but sometimes just slow down a bit. But at the end of the day, right? We got energy in the team, and sometimes look a bit leggy in games as well. I think it was leggy against Bournemouth, but we got away with that one as well. But if Solanke would score that goal, it would have been embarrassed and getting beat off Bournemouth. No disrespect to Bournemouth, and Craig, if he's listening, but we should be beating teams like Bournemouth, and we didn't. So it's going to be electric. Win, lose, or draw. And Man U retro looks good. That's a Luca. Our retro shirts are Gordon. That's in Devils. Luca streaming and chatting here at the same time. Big up to Luca, by the way. Clever lad. Big up to Static, by the way. And hope you're okay. A big Arsenal fan as well. And Liam said, if Renegade Birmingham team can win the cup, there's a reason why we can't. Exactly. We've got to be positive as well. And Beer Fag said, nice pop, Macy. John has the same one. No, I have not. There we go again. There we go. This is what Mason's not there yet, but I'm sure he would too. Now, Luca does do that, to be fair, and you know what? Credit to him, by the way. Because the Mama Flossie, now she was covering my channel as well. She was covering my channel as well for Toon Talk as well, and she's welcome to as well at some stage. So Paulina against Arsenal. And there's no stopping Newcastle winning. Got a brilliant chance of some Devils as well. That's from Reese as well, by the way, as I speak. And Maisie, get well soon. And now and Joel Linton, a hat-trick in common. That's from Craig. And I reckon Rashford will make it. Now, I heard people saying that he's not fit. And people are saying it's not taking no notice for me. I think he's fit. He's playing. He is playing.
Without doubt, he'll be playing. There's no question about it. He's our best player. He's one of our best players this season. So there's no. I think I'm not hurt. I've heard little rumors that he could be out, but from what I've read, the only person who is out is Anthony Martial. So that's the only one who I've actually seen is out. I think that he just came off in the Barcelona game just so we can rest him for Sunday, because you need to rest your best players, because we've played a lot of games, and I know a lot of people are complaining about that, but if you want to be in every single cup competition, because if we wasn't in every single cup competition, United fans will go mad to be called for Ten Hag said. But while we're in every single cup competition, people are moaning and say we haven't got the squad depth, blah 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 blah. But I even said if we lost yesterday and we won it on Sunday, that wouldn't bother me as much, just because I'd rather win a trophy than win a game and then lose the final. That's what I would rather do. But that's my opinion. I think he was just stuck off just so we could rest him, because he's played every single game this season. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what it is, right? I mean, you got a big squad there. I wish you had a bigger squad, same as you as well. And our bench ain't good enough either as well. I can't lie. But at the end of the day, he's playing, no question about that as well. You got the squad depth as well. And Ten Hag, I mean, he's doing a wonderful job at United. He really, really is. And you got a proper manager there, Macy. And I hope he can for a long, long time. This would be a single goal decider. That's in Reece. And he's the man. Craig's on about Joel Linton. I'm sure we could talk about him later on. I'm alive for that count. And I've got a Newcastle fan, Paul. Big up to you, Paul, my guy. Always a member as well. I'm not happy with Ten Hag saying we are annoying for wasting time. We've only done that against Liverpool in the first game and Arsenal. And you know what it is, right? I mean, Ten Hag's come out and say that we're an annoying team. What does he expect us to do? He expects us to leave us outside open and let United go through and score as many goals as possible. Is that what he wants to do? I tell you what it is, right? I mean, he played Man U in October, right? First half, we were fantastic. Second half, right? I mean, the way Ronaldo ran up to the referee's face and the players, right? That was absolutely.
We don't even have that. We don't have that kind of bad energy anymore, anyway. And I know we've been fined a couple of times this season for doing it. And I do think that it does need to stop. In terms of that game, what happened in October, I think Hughes was definitely the better team in that first half, and I think the second half we picked up, and that probably, if Hughes carried on the way he was playing, I think you probably would have nicked that 1-0. But I think because we picked it up in that second half, that's probably the reason why we come out with a draw in that game.
Exactly. I think first half he was fantastic. Second half, you slightly a better team. The chances you had, you should have put them away. But when that Rashford missed a free header, we headed it wide. If that had gone in, it would have been an absolute kick in the teeth for us because we did not just lose that game at all whatsoever. And I'm sure Craig would probably think something different as well in the chat. Question of both thoughts on how both managers have transformed both teams. What he's done, Ravi, for Newcastle, I mean, he's playing Joel Linton in a different position, right? He's turned him to a better player, right? In a unit and a proper player, and he's done that. Miggy stepped up in the summer, right? Scored 10 goals this season, right? We defend him properly, right? He's fixed up the defence. He fixed up the midfield, Bayern Bruno, right? And up front, ASM, when he's on it. And up front, I mean, for me, he's got to start with Isak because for me, I think this guy is going to be a baller. He's going to be a baller. I love his movement, his pace, his link up between the midfield and the striker. And you know what it is, right? Keep it real. I think it'd be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What about you, Macy? How does ETH transform your team?
I think there was a lot of things what really changed with Manchester United, and one thing was that we let go of the egos. He wasn't afraid to drop people just for the sake of the names, the sake of the form. He put in a set of rules and said, "This is the rules, and I want you to obey them. If you don't do that, you're gonna get punished." He let people get away, got one off on the pre-season, which was at home against Rayo Lazio, but then afterwards he stamped his ground in terms of Cristiano Ronaldo. He got rid of him, benched him. Rashford, he dropped him even though he was in the best form of his life just because he was late to training, and that's the kind of attitude that you need. You need a manager who is going to set the rules down. Luke Shaw has even said that Erik ten Hag, he has put some discipline in place, and that is something that we've never had at Manchester United in such a long time. So that really speaks about the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralph Rangnick as well. That there was no discipline there, and you need to have discipline. Another thing, I think we have fixed up defensively, just as yourselves. We brought in Lisandro Martinez, who's been solid at the back. He's complemented Varane very well. Bringing Luke Shaw back into his great form, like we've seen a few years ago. Casemiro, another great addition. I think he's been absolutely fantastic in that midfield. We haven't had a proper defensive midfielder since Carrick. So to have that kind of defensive midfielder type as well as a leader, I think is brilliant, and bringing Rashford into the form he is, I think that is a massive thing to do as well. But I think, as you mentioned with Eddie Howe, I agree with everything you said. And one other thing I would say is that he's brought in leaders, which me personally, pre-Eddie Howe, you didn't have that. You didn't really have a leader on that pitch who was able to command the pitch as a team. And you've got plenty of leaders now in Bruno, and you've got that in Trippier as well. And I think if the way he's carry on, you can even have Sven Botman when he's a bit older as a captain, because he does have that kind of material in him too. So you've got plenty more leaderships. What I think you was lacking in the past.
Absolutely. I mean, Eddie Howe sorted out from top to bottom, right? Find who's the captain's going to be. I mean, Lascelles is still officially captain for Newcastle, but Kieran Trippier's captain on the pitch. So really, it should be Kieran Trippier full time, because Lascelles will be gone at the end of the season. I guarantee that Friesen could go with him as well, and a couple of others are not good enough in Newcastle. So thanks for that, Ryan. Great question. And I got one, the Wild Gamer. I think it'll go to the penalties. Mate, if you do hit the subscribe button, mate, I believe it's your first time. If you hit the subscribe button, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And the question for us, Chris, on if it go to pens. This game could possibly go to penalties. I hope it doesn't. I want to finish it off inside 90 minutes if possible. Do you know what I mean? And
I don't think it will. I think, me personally, I do think it'll go to extra time, but I think there will be. I know we'll put. I think it'll be 1-1, but by the time it'll go to extra time, in the full 90, and then a goal will be scored in the extra time to decide on the winner.
Yeah,
I can't be doing it with penalties. No way.
I can't do it either, but I know my 5 penalty takers is going to be Isak, Wilson, Fabian Schär, Kieran Trippier, Bruno Guimaraes as well. That's me 5 pens. Maybe Stuart Linton if Isak or Wilson's not on the pitch. And got one here from Reese. The only thing Newcastle have to worry about is stopping our attack. And for us, it's breaking first phase to play. 30 consecutive games, we've scored 2+ scores. And that is going to be a worry. We've got to defend properly. Botman and Schär are not the quickest, but I'm not going to lie, but they know how to defend properly when they're on it as well. Man United are the favourites, but if Newcastle put in a really good performance, then any team could win the final. It's an open final, in my opinion. Anything could go either way. Big up to Luke as well. Big up to Julie J. Hi to you. I hope you're okay, and hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Rashford came up precautionally. He will play for definite. At least I've been saying that all the time. He will play. No ifs and no doubt. And got one from Craig again. Tell him what I've always said about Joe Linton. I'm sure will. What it is, right? He was also the striker, and he did say, play him in the midfield, and he would be a top dog. And this guy is absolutely right. Craig's absolutely right. And look at the difference. He is always spot on, Craig. He normally is, by the way. I'm not going to lie. That Joe Linton is a midfielder, not a forward. And Ted Hag said he's got an ankle injury, which make a decision in 24 hours. Oh, Paul, he's playing, man. He's playing, man. He is playing. As a midfielder, he can still get 3 goals. True. Martial, yeah, he's individual training. No idea if he plays. Rashford is better than him. Anyways, that's in
He needs to go. He needs to go. It's as simple as that. He's a waste of breath.
Sad, but it is what it is. Got ETH. ETH is not as good as the mind games as Sir Alex was. I tell you what, I'm not being funny. I'm going to be real, right? That Alex Ferguson's the best. He is the best at mind games as well. ETH, you need to try a bit harder. And he will not take him years to do that, so in my opinion. Against Varane and Licha, unlikely, maybe the 1 goal. And Barry, you're working with as well. He's a big United fan. 5-1. Barry, can I just be clear, mate? Right? No team hasn't scored 3s and 4s. Well, 4s and 5s this season. I don't think Man U scored 5 past us. There's absolutely no way. If he does, come back and see us, will you? And you cheated. Really? Cheated? Well, Craig's basically saying that that goal should have stood when Ronaldo took it off.
It was off.
Perfect goal. I love him.
It was off. It was off.
Craig,
We can all dream, but it's off.
Exactly. And big up to Ian, by the way. Going to send my surprise in a minute. Good man. I know what it is. I'll actually read it out. Just in fact, I'll do it now, by the way. And thank you for your donation, my guy. I really appreciate that. This is the 5th time he's done it. And you know what? I've got to meet Ian for a drink, whatever that sort of thing. Next time at Newcastle, let us know. We got for a drink. You are a fantastic listener and also a fantastic guy as well. Thank you for your super chat as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ian, again for that. And Joe Linton also hit the post twice in the same game. But yes, he did. We didn't. Team did. But yeah, like time wasting. It's a smart tactic. Shite happens. We're out a clear penalty as well. Football is football. It certainly is. Opinions on Steve McClown? Steve, my man. He's at the club, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Ten Hag's coach, and he must be doing something right with how we're playing right now. That's all I'm going to say about it. He must be doing something right.
Absolutely. Big up to Tony, by the way, my co-host as well. It's a flea and visit. I'm a guest on another channel. Tony, I don't know who channel it's on, Anit, but enjoy it. And it's
enjoy Tony.
We love him, don't we? He's the one who keeps saying like Koulibaly, remember?
Oh, Koulibaly.
I was in Turkey and he said, I love him.
Oh, Koulibaly. Oh, dear me.
You got another name for him, haven't you?
It's I like coffee's name. It's a Cooler Bramble.
Cooler Bramble.
Yeah.
Quality coach. That's from Reese. To Tony. Thanks to Ian. She's saying thanks for the donation as well. Big up to Julie J. And it's nice to hear about other teams that the mystery of Liverpool. They got absolutely whipped 5-2 against Real Madrid. Am I right?
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I went to Barcelona last month and I went to Madrid for the day, so I got myself a Madrid shirt with Valverde on the back, and I thought I've got to wrap this shirt tonight.
Absolutely. Oh, what a time, mate. I don't be rather be pleased by the way. Ian's not happy at all. We'd have to go back up the fifth position. We need to invest smartly rather than go for bidding war for overpriced players. Sabitzer was a good piece of business and can be bought for a nice price as well. Absolutely. He won't cost millions, but he won't cost earth. I think he's a good player. I've always rated that guy. I wouldn't swap Eddie for Ten Hag any day. That's the Nick. And I got one from Reese. Ten Hag wants to say, day number 1, at every job, lays down the law. You don't do as suspected. G to FO out of the get the F out of the club. Howell has got a good presence as well. Fair play to him. Biggest job he's ever had. You know what? He has been fantastic. Let's be real. Big up to Dan, by the way. Hope you're okay. And he actually streams as well. Big up to you as well. Liverpool Road Hype Bus. And 20 million for Saboteur is a tidy if we can do it. And we got one from Mike as well. Big up to you, Mike. Please hit the subscribe button, Mike, if you can. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. My twin bro, he's a man, and I'll drive 4 hours, 5 hours to wake up across the state in Missouri just to watch the game at a big football pub and say, Louis, do you know what it is, Mike? Big up to you, my guy. Big up to you. Big Newcastle fan from Missouri. And you know what, Mike? Hit that subscribe button, mate, if you can. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. We got an American or Mank. You know, that is fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for coming in, Mike, to the channel as well. Also hit Devils United too. 23 wins and 30 games under Ten Hag since the City defeat. Wow, he has certainly turned it around. He wanted ETH out of the club. These are heater chicks. I tell you what, that guy is a stellar manager. Hope you have a great time, Mike B. Yes, that's from Leslie. Hi to Reese. Big up to Paul as well. We only had a couple of players in the squad who has played in big games. I think this final has been a lot of demand since Leicester, and I think that's the reason to drop in form. Yes, we've got to make sure we win this game. We've got to smash that game as well. We can do this. Casemiro, Martinez, Anthony, massive strength for us. Sabitzer is better stability. Malacia, smart move for us. Shame Ericsson's unavailable Sunday due to injury. I like the Newcastle business. That's from Reese. You know what it is, right? Casemiro, right? That guy has been absolutely stellar.
Yeah, he's world class. There's no question about that. If someone literally went and said to me a year ago, "You're getting Casemiro next season," I'd be like, "What are you talking about, mate? Like, get off the weed or whatever you're having." How whatever you're having. But it's beautiful.
Oh,
It's beautiful to see.
you love Casemiro, don't you?
Yeah, I do love Casemiro. I think he's brilliant.
Wow. I tell you what, Real Madrid must be kicking themselves, man. They must be kicking themselves to sell him to you. You know what I mean? But I think you also want to come to the Premier League. So big up to Casemiro, by the way. But Bruno will be the best Brazilian on the day. We got a good attack and defense. To combat your attack and defense, which I rate. But midfield is key. We've got to win the midfield battles as well. Joe Linton's got to be in there as well. And if he gets put earlier on, he'll be under huge pressure for the rest of the game. I hope that's not the case. I agree. I think the game we won the midfield. And we said Casemiro is the best midfielder out of both teams. Ravi. So stop Casemiro, you stop United. Getting the ball to Bruno or Rashford. Very interesting. Hi to Geordie. And let's go for it. It'll be a battle with Bruno and Casemiro. Battle with Brazilians, if you will. Whoever wins that takes control of the game, could possibly win the game. And best defense in the league versus the fourth best attack in the league. That is going to be brilliant. That's going to be a right battle. What does Macy think of Karius in goal compared to Tubaka, cup tie and Pope red card? I like coffee.
Yeah, even though a lot of people are probably laughing about Karius being in goal, we need to think of that Karius still does have big game experience. He was in the Champions League final against with Liverpool versus Madrid a few years back. So he's been in multiple different big games. So I wouldn't overly write him off because I still think he can do the business. And even though he hasn't yet, I think he's only played pre-season and friendlies for you. So I think he is going to want to prove something, but especially knowing after that Champions League final a few years back where I think it was Real Madrid 3-1 against Liverpool, he's going to want to prove that he can, that he isn't one who will bottle it in the big games. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I love to see Karius do well. I tell you what, he can make the headlines. If you go to local northeast paper as the Chronicle, right? He can make the front page and the back page national. I hope if it's going to be penalty shootout and he comes like the hero, that guy deserves it. You know what I mean? But he's a different player. He's a different goalkeeper. What happened 5 years ago against Madrid, then happens, you know what I mean? I hope he doesn't lose the plot tomorrow and I'll be backing this guy all the way. Big up to Toon, by the way. Hope you're okay. And Devils get his predictions in early 1-0 to United. And big up my favourite Jordan favour, Mank. Absolutely. And crazy when Toon went big, John run and Nick down Wembley way. Wow. Wow.
Oh, dear.
No chance whatsoever. I respect Craig every single day. And he knows that. And I never upset him, by the way. And he knows that. Also, I don't wind him up, and he knows that. One game shouldn't define a player's career. I really hope Karius put his performance on Sunday that everyone will remember for a long time for the good reasons. That's from Geordie. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Big up to Jamie, by the way. Jamie, if you hit the subscribe button, mate, and please do so. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much indeed. Big up to Gareth from Cardiff. I hope he's canny. One thing, and I fear about Geordie, United have 19 goals from substitutes this season, highest team in the top 5 leagues. Wow.
Yeah. And one of them is Alejandro Garnacho, who's recently breaking in. But I think he will probably come on in the 60th or 70th minute. Because for me, he's been miles better. He's been miles better for me. As a substitute rather than a starting 11 player. So I think we'll probably see him. We might see Sabitzer. It's all dependent on the start 11. I personally wouldn't start Sabitzer because he hasn't played yet with Cass. So
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. A drinking strawberry pre-match works for me, John. My good man, definitely. We've got to arrange that Ian at some stage, mate. I mean, and you know what? I'll be buying, not you. Question for me is: would you say it's your game changer? I say, would you say it's your
Who
game
would you
changer?
say? Rashford, Sancho, if you come off the bench, because when he's come off the bench, he's been absolutely brilliant in that number 10 role. Because what tends to happen is, either Rashford plays up top, Weghorst, like we've seen it when Sancho starts. We see Rashford up top. We've seen Anthony on the right, for instance, and we've seen Bruno on the right and Weghorst in the 10. Because Weghorst, even though he isn't getting the goals, he's brilliant at everything else. He's brilliant at his pressing. He's brilliant at his link-up play. He's just not got the goals in him. So that's that could also help with the impact of Jadon Sancho, the impact of Alejandro Garnacho. Sabitzer, I think he's very calm on the ball, which I really, really like. I would still like to see him take a free kick because we haven't seen that as of yet. There isn't too many people really, to be honest. We don't really have as much as a good bench as we could probably think. So, if anything, we could probably see Scott McTominay coming on, maybe, or Malacia, but we haven't really got a fantastic bench to look at. To be a brilliant bench, we haven't got too many game changers coming off it anyway.
Yeah. Fair enough. We got some ASM when he's on it, as you well know. Bruno Guimaraes, that guy is brilliant. I'm glad he's back. If he didn't play at Wembley, I think it wouldn't look good for us at all whatsoever. Joe Linton, on his day, he's got legs. He can strengthen it as well. Miggy Almiron, right? I think he'd be fantastic. He's just on a new 3-year deal, by the way.
And, yes, I've seen that.
He'd be into 2026. Excuse me. So Miggy is on a new 3.5-year deal. And question of both, are you coming to London? I'm going to. I've got a ticket. And I'll tell you a little story right on that one, right? Tuesday was the deadline, right? I always said after 5, I'm not going to get a ticket, right? 4 days later, had a phone call. It says no caller ID. Picked the phone up, spoke to last call Jan from the box office, and she said, I'm successful for a ballot. 44 quid. And I couldn't believe it. Man. I was nearly in tears. I got that ticket. Oh, bless you. I wanted to get 2, but couldn't.
Brilliant.
Only 1. But yeah. I'm going to Wembley, and I'm going to Trafalgar Square tomorrow about 3-4 o'clock. Hit us up there, and I'll be going to Baker Street Sunday morning around about 11 o'clock. So I would love to go to the box part, by the way, but I think tickets are all gone. And Kula Shambles, as Tony say, he's on about Kula Valley. Mays loves a football joke. Paul Simpson, the current Carlisle manager, I believe, said a while back that Steve McLaren is an excellent coach, so probably decent assistant, but not a manager. And we'll be on that one. That he's poor for Newcastle, by the way. He should never come to the first place. The lads have had a good rest, so hopefully the high press is back. The turnovers upfield are what helped us win games this season. Paul, you're absolutely right, mate. Mays, it wouldn't be a show without you bantering me on Liverpool. You love doing Liverpool bashing, don't you, Macy?
Well, you got to. It's our rivals after all, isn't it?
Well, it is what it is. It's all about having a banter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, I'd get people saying I'm a United fan. I'm not. And do you really think Rashford is injured? I think it's mind games and Ten Hag. You know what? It's Jordan who spoke about that. It's mind games. He's definitely playing. He's definitely playing on Sunday. And Reese, thanks for your kind donation, by the way. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much indeed. Big respect to you both. Sunday will be elite, and Liverpool are world-class losers. Thank you so much for your kind donation there, the Devils. That's the first time as well. Thank you so much indeed. He did get a knock, Geordie, but he's going to play. He is going to play. Thank you, Devils, as well as Leslie as well. If you say hi to everybody else, and you're welcome, my guy. And Foxy, big up to Foxy. Not sure why fans of both clubs has to criticise opposition manager this week on social media. Both Ten Hag and Howe have done brilliant under different circumstances and pressure. He's right, isn't he, Macy?
I absolutely agree with what Fox said, because at the end of the day, both teams are doing well, both managers are doing well. And I've seen from both teams, which something that I don't like is people are wishing for players to be injured, and that is something that I think it doesn't matter what fans you are. It's disgusting to wish for players to be injured.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've both been fantastic managers, sort of thing. Who would you choose, Eddie Howe or Ten Hag?
I'd have to choose Ten Hag. I'd choose Ten Hag, but obviously you choose Eddie Howe because they're both each other's managers. But
absolutely.
that should. But do you know, one Sport Bible, for instance, are a big cause of these kind of comparisons because they'll be like, they're the ones who do stuff like that. I've seen it all the time, and it shouldn't be the case. It should be just the fact that both managers are doing well. We've both been clearly good enough to get into the final because we wouldn't be there otherwise. Eddie Howe's done an absolutely incredible job because if you look at a year and 2 months ago, you was literally 20th. And then if you look this time last year, we were still suffering from the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We had Ralph Ragnick, who didn't suit the club. So we've definitely come a long way from 1 year ago, and both managers should be highly respected by it instead of being compared to it. But as I say, Sport Bible are definitely one of the main causes for it.
Absolutely right. Surely no comparisons. They're both fantastic matches in their own right. Simple as that. So far this season, Rashford's the only Man U striker to be in the top 10 for goals scored this season in the Premier League. So how do you think you'll get on without him if he's injured? That's a fair question.
We still got goal scorers. We still got Jadon Sancho, who's only just coming back. So he's definitely one who he's having personal one-on-one trainings with Bene. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll become a beast eventually. And with Anthony, he's actually done well in the big games for us so far. I've been very critical of Anthony, but he has done well in the big games and he's been reliable when needed to be. Bruno is another one. He can still score his goals. He's still great with his assists. And instead of being a greedy player, he's played more for the team than for himself. Casemiro's got a few goals onto it. So it's not necessarily just about Rashford because we've still got plenty of goal scorers.
Absolutely. It's not one man don't make a team. You've got Turner van Vegels as well. He can do it in the big games. 100%.
And Garnacho as well.
Garnacho as well. I mean, you're going to talk about Garnacho as well in a bit. We talk about Casemiro. He won the ball back twice against Barca, then ping a through ball out to Bruno. I say, yes, the best in his position for sure. And then Julie, big up to Julie, by the way. Casemiro was a very good player. He is indeed. Always rated in Madrid as well. And there's your thoughts on Garnacho, how he's adapted to the team. The young lad.
I think he's very young lad, and I think the thing is with Ten Hag is that he's actually trying to break him into the team, and I think that's the way to come up, best way to come about it for 18, 19-year-old, because you look at all the players who's done well you look at how Phil Foden was broken with Pep Guardiola, and this is if this was over the years, Rashford got thrown in, and that's not necessarily worked out for all of the years. Alanga, he's still very, very raw. He just got thrown into it because Rashford wasn't on good form, and neither was Sancho last season.
Yeah.
And I think throwing him into it, it's not always the best way. You get that little bit of a hype, and then you get too much criticism. And I think keeping him out of the limelight in a kind of way, bringing him on when needed to be, and starting him, for instance, on against the opposition who should be winning against. I think that's the best way of helping the development of Garnacho.
Yeah, this guy's going to be fantastic in the future. He really, really is. And you know what? He's young, Argentinian, and he is going to go places, this kid, I'm telling you. And got one from Eddie Howe's like Army, Bruno G and Julian are proper position midfielders. I'd rather have them in my team any day of the week than Casemiro and Fred. Interesting. We have scored more goals about Rashford. But just taking a mantle and majority, we could still be effective without Rashford. it's just good to have someone like him in attack.
Absolutely.
He's been on fire. He's been on fire this season, really has. Is Joe Willock back this weekend, or was it too early? We probably fell out on Sunday, mate, but in my guess, he'd probably be sub. I could be wrong. Don't quote us on that one, by the way. Casemiro is the best of all the 4 mids, and Guimaraes second. That's the truth. That's from Reese. Even to Alan as well, mate. I hope you're okay, mate. And I missed the next one out as well. And Jolinton's impressive, especially after people completely writing him off. I was one of them as well. But let's be real, he's proved us wrong. And he's been an outstanding player, by the way. Simon Collins likes my video, by the way, on Facebook as well. Thank you, Simon. Big up to John Conway. Hi to you, my guy. Hope you're okay. Bruno makes such a difference in our team, though. He gives everyone around him confidence when playing. The stats with and without him are night and day. That's from Paul. And big up the legend as well, Foxy as well. I'm more worried about Fred. Recently, he's scoring or assisted. He can look shocking for 20, 30 minutes and then produce some magic. Casemiro, perfect for him in that midfield role. That's from Foxy. Bruno G and Casemiro should be still in midfield in a combined 11, 100%. I rate him, Paul, and I think he's as fighter to you as Casemiro is to us for the same circumstances. Big up to Andrew DB. Hope you're okay. Saying you got the wrong shirt on. Go for this comment as well before we go for the combined. I think it goes to Pens. I just have that feeling that's a Rabi. And Devils is Lisa chatting to Foxy. I couldn't call it Pens. Yeah, I get that as well. Garrett's had a concussion against Madrid.
And he still played the full 90 as well. Which
he did as well. Don't get it.
And the thing is, he got so much hate by the Liverpool fan base. And I think it was a bit of a shame how it ended the way it did, because they just let him go in the end as well. And he hadn't really been heard of much until obviously you brought him in as an emergency.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and with Man U not playing well yesterday, they did. I'm sure they played yesterday.
Yeah, I think we played yesterday. Yeah.
I think for me, if it goes extra time, we have the legs to win it. The lads has had a week off. Absolutely. You are right.
You could look at that in that kind of way and think, oh, we've played, but then you could also say is that because we've played and we're still consistent. I think that's something that we can look at. And Casemiro's not being used every game. He's only been used in Barcelona. And that's helped to keep on his fitness too, just because of because he's been suspended, just like Bruno has for yourselves on a red card. So I think in a kind of way it's good that we've still remain consistent, so that could work in our favour. But on the same breath is like I think the thing is with Ten Hag is that he I don't think he minds the schedule, just because he wants it to be consistent and winning plenty of times, and he will play his best. He will play a very strong 11 regardless of who we're playing against. And as I always say, you've got to beat the best to be the best. That's what I always say.
Every single time you got to compete. Yeah. Eddie Howe's come out and say, like, you're not here to be mates. We're here to compete. Do you know what I mean? And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely correct. That's why we're in the final. Craig's comment saying, Mr. Moneybags Trippier got to be on his skin. I'll ask you a question, Macy, right? Do you think Kieran Trippier came to Newcastle United for the money, or did he come for the project?
For me, in my opinion, I think Trippier he come more for the project than the money. I think he wanted to work with Eddie Howe. He probably liked what the new owners was going to do, and I also think he wanted the Premier League return. Because he was linked to a few Premier League clubs before he came to Newcastle anyway. So I think he definitely wanted to be back to the Premier League.
And that's and you're just going to say that it's for the project and not for the money.
Yeah.
But Craig thinks he came back for the money. So that will not go away. Man, you have to stomach for what we are going to do them on Sunday. That's an Andrew. Carabao had a concussion against Madrid. Jurgen Klopp should have taken him off instead of playing him during that game. Exactly. I blame Klopp for that as well. And you have played Barca. What will you do? We'll give it a go. We're not going to sit back. We're going to give it a go. And by the way, we scored more goals than Man U, by the way. If Willock is fit, he would revert back to the same starting 11 that got us to where we were in the league currently with the form and chemistry they have. Very interesting. That means Joe Linton has to play on the left. ASM probably end up being the sub. And Harry's gone into his team. Carriers, Trippier, Botman, Cher, Byrne, Bruno, Joe, Willock. Joe Linton, ASM, Amiron, and Wilson. And Andrew said, just watch. We go for the combined 11 in a minute, by the way. Big up to the show. So good to see Mace and John linking up the game. Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, the dynamic duo. You know what? I love Macy, and she is absolutely awesome. Thoughts on Anthony Gordon so far? It's early to say for him, but he shows promise, by the way. He shows promises. And I tell you what, he's going to get better and better under Eddie Howe, and he's playing with better players as well. So I'm a big fan of him, by the way. And it's not going to be easier than you think. And start to chatting the Devils. And it's me out. Well, Ian, have a good weekend. Check us out at Wembley as well. And thank you very much for your donation. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much indeed, my guy. I appreciate it. We outplayed Barca both games. You're doing a live for Jafarga. I am indeed. I'm going to do a clip. I'm going to post it on YouTube. So it's going to be a recorded one. So I wish it was live, by the way, but it is what it is. And it's fine for this as well. And let's be honest, if Rashford is on form, no one stops him. Man, should be peppering our goal vicarious from the off and test his confidence. We need to try and get that first goal and defend for our lives. That's from Foxy. Do you think they're going to test Karius shoot on tonight?
I absolutely. As I say, as Foxy's already mentioned with Rashford, Bruno is another option as well. Just because he'll want to win a trophy at Man United, he'll want to lift it. Anthony, he scored last game, so I think that will give a little bit of a boost for Anthony. Same with Sancho, he scored in his last Premier League game, so that's also going to give Sancho a bit of confidence. Casemiro, he just bleeds winning mentality, so I think that he's gonna want to win trophies at Manchester United. So yeah, I think we definitely are going to be testing Newcastle, not just on goal but all over the pitch.
Yeah, it's going to be tested. They're going to test them. I'm sure they'll test them. But that's down to our defence to defend properly. Do that, we'll be fine. John Mason, who's the ref on Sunday? David Coote. And he's a Notts County fan, by the way, not a United fan.
Thank you. Thank you for saying this.
He is not a United fan. And I know people coming on.
If he was a Man United fan, he would not be allowed to referee in the game.
Exactly.
And that's the same with, is it Michael Oliver? He's a Newcastle fan. He's
Correct.
not allowed to referee for Newcastle games because he's a Newcastle fan. And I know I think there's been some fake edit going around, and because of that, they had to. The FA had to release his team just because of that fake edit what was being made. But that's why I always say, if he was a Man United fan, he will not be able to play in the game just like Michael Oliver.
Thank you. And you know what it is, right? I mean, people are so quick to jump on, said, he's a red, he can't do it. No, he's not. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. I'm not going to lie, right? They've got to do research before they have a go. They need to take a chill pill, some people. Just don't stress. It's cool. They know what they're doing. He's a Notts County fan. So thank you as well. We've been buffing for a month. Man U's going to get it. I watched the game yesterday with my mate, who's a Man U fan. Can honestly say I couldn't see him scoring, apart from the suspected pen and a header they didn't out. And of course, because Barca are en route to another league title and couldn't get past us, we outplayed them. It's not hard to admit, just like you outplayed 9 minutes of the league this year. And we got one from Alan. Big up to Alan, by the way. Man U should worry about our front wingers. We get ASM. They'd be up for this game. I tell you what, if we do that, then it could be a long day. Barca, not us. Wait and see. Dale's chatting to Paul. John, are you confident with Karius, whoever replaced Paul Ponsard? It's going to be Karius. And I'm not being funny. I think I want him to be successful. I want him to do well. I'm going to back this guy, but we'll wait and see as well. But he was solid when he played the pre-season in December as well. And we need more John and Macy Shores. You're both quality. We've got to do it, mate. You've got to get back to it. You've got to get back to it. Do you know what I mean? You're in mixed form. You need a strong start. I'm glad we got real opponent on Sunday. You want to beat our opposition at their best. Anything is a 50-50 game for me. Sport Bible are full of it. Make things up all the time. I've heard that as well. I've heard that. We're going to stone everyone Sunday. Andrew's very confident. Poison right there. Foxy, big up the Foxy. Yeah, that's it, Macy, 100%. I don't need to tell you how amazing how is by Quick Ten Hag. Really petty from both sets of fans this week.
Agreed.
I've seen on social media as well. You know what? I just laugh. I just read it and laugh it off. You just might be our manager, and several members of our team have big game experience. Your squad, respectively, very little. But how is a smart manager? Look, you look at the team we've got, Macy. Sven Botman won Ligue 1, right? He's a champion. Kieran Trippier won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid. He's a champion, right? Rudiger Mirage, right? Won it at Paranesi, right? Back in Brazil. He's a champion. They've got winning mentality. Let's be real. They've got winning mentality. They know what it's all about, right? And you know what? I think they know exactly what he's doing. They got that winning mentality and they've passed the experience on to them as well. Static, you have a good evening, my guy. Have a fantastic weekend. Share the love to you and the Gooners as well, by the way. And got one from Gary. Big to Gary, by the way. If you subscribe to my channel, Gary, hit the subscribe button, please. That'd be fantastic. Thank you. Liverpool's won trophies. What have Crybaby United won in 6 years? Oh, yeah, I can't remember. Lovely, humble, and show respect and top focuses on Big Brother. Liverpool up the real Reds.
Wow. Well, it's nice seeing you in mid-table. Enjoy getting knocked out by Real Madrid. And then your season's going to be technically over.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. If Liverpool not got sent off, I think we would have got something out of that game. But you can see 2 poor goals, and that's the problem. I don't think you're ever going to beat Liverpool. I don't think you will. But we will one day. And that will be no reason.
Like, the game that we played at Old Trafford in September time was the first time we beat Liverpool in the league since 2018. So it's been a long time as well since we was the ones who beat them too. It's one of them, like, it will eventually happen. Just as like Chelsea, for instance, they haven't beat us at home since 2013. That it is going to happen eventually. It's just about biding your time, building it up, and getting not getting your tactics right, but outplaying your tactics by them.
Well said. Well said. Well said. ASM on this day is excellent attack and threat. He even had a manager of Pep's caliber worried, and if he turns up on Sunday like we expect him to, I think he created Man U defense proper problems. And you know what it is, Geordie? He's got to step up. I mean, he wants to win things. This is his opportunity. Yeah, he's got to back up the words as well. And ETH said Newcastle were annoying team to play against, but the media quoted him saying, "Our time wasting is annoying." Well, I must admit, we did against Liverpool. I can't lie. But at the end of the day, right, we do play some cracking football. And they have to get used to it. Anthony's bad at crossing. He needs a lollipop to help him cross.
Oh, don't get me started on Anthony. Like, I can't really criticize Anthony too much because he did play well against Barcelona, but some of the things he does really irritates me. I wouldn't lie about that, but it's still his first season, and eventually it will probably do good. But I'm not holding too much promises in regards to Anthony. I must be honest. Just something there. What's trigger? Do you like when you look and think this person's gonna like a good player? Angela, I'm just not getting that kind of vibe from Anthony at the moment. But a lot of people like him, so maybe there's just something there that I can't see right now. And yeah,
absolutely. And that's the thing, man. That is the thing because look, you're absolutely right there. But it'll get better, Andy. You'll get better. Trust me, it'll get better. How would Man U have fared under 40-year Mike Ashley? I think
well, it's never happened, so it's nothing I want to think about. I don't think it's ever going to happen. He's too stingy to buy us. The Glazers, he won't pay 6-7 billion for us.
He's only worth 4 billion. He ain't going to afford that. Let's be real. Macy, question from Gareth. Which 3 players or what 3 players would Macy take for Newcastle?
Good question. Bruno would definitely be the one I would take 1,000%. I really, really like Bruno. Another person that I would take is Sven Botman. Actually, no, what I'm going to do it based off Manchester United, because every time someone asks it me, I like to look at Man United squad. So the first one, I'm going to go for Bruno, because I think for me, he is world class. without a doubt, he is world class. Nick Pope, this will be based off Man United squad, who we need to change to. Nick Pope will be the second. Nick Pope, I think he didn't get the he didn't get the credit he deserved until he come to Newcastle. He's kept using a lot of games. He's kept using with a lot of clean sheets as well. I think he's absolutely brilliant. And the third one I would take is Callum Wilson. I've always liked Callum Wilson back when he was in Bournemouth. Just something about Callum Wilson I really like because he was so good. He's one of them, like, he will put, like, if he gets a sniff at the net, he will score. There's no question about it. There's more chances of scoring than not scoring. That's how good he is. But the only problem is with Callum Wilson, which is why you needed to get the squad depth, he's so injury prone. He's out more than he's in. And that's the only problem. If he was how he is now with his skills and his his scoring, and he had like the injury record of Bruno, because Bruno has only ever had 2 injuries in his entire career, he would have a lot more goals than what he has at the moment, and he would be a lot more credited. I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, Mason knows best, and she knows lots of stories. Before we go to combined 11, I've got a question from Toon. Question of both. Do you see either of you respective managers managing the respective countries later on in their careers? For me, Eddie Howe should be Newcastle manager for a long, long time. Ten Hag, I think he might, but he's happy at Man United at the minute.
Yeah, I don't want Ten Hag to leave Man United anytime soon, just like you don't want to leave Eddie Howe anytime soon. I think with both countries right now, I don't think that they're at the capabilities of winning things. We've got Man United, England's got a very good squad, but it's a very, very tough job to go to. Like, a lot of people always used to say, oh, Graham Potter, he's going to be such an amazing England manager. He couldn't even hack it at Chelsea. So what makes him think that he's going to manage the egos of all the other clubs? If he could manage the egos at Chelsea Football Club. And I think Eddie Howe is good at managing egos, but I think that he should win more things at club football before he does decide to go to international football. I think Ten Hag, he needs to prove himself more in other leagues. Well, not necessarily like go to every league, but like challenge himself more in the Premier League. Has only been there a matter of months, so he needs to show that he can do it in tougher leagues before we can move into the Netherlands job, because the Netherlands again have got very big egos there of Virgil van Dijk, and they've got Frankie de Jong, Dumfries. I know he's worked with the majority of the Netherlands squad very closely, but it's still massive egos to deal with. And I know he's good with egos, but and you've only got so long to work with him, it's just one of them tough. I think it's very tough to be an international manager, because I've always seen it. If you could be world class at club football, but you tend to be so rubbish at international. And people who tend to be so rubbish at club football, they're brilliant at international level.
Yeah. Again, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think Ten Hag will definitely manage Holland in the years to come, but not just yet. I mean, he wants to win things for you first, and then he'll definitely go for the Holland job in the future. Who knows? And he probably have one big job left in him, but I hope you keep him for a long, long time. We go to combined 11, go through these comments, and I heard someone suggest today that Isak should play on the wing and bench ASN. Thoughts for me? Nah, Isak's a fun player, mate. Harry, he's a fun player. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I heard as well that Paul said that he thinks we'll make the final. Eddie Howe keeps it close to his chest. I read that as well. Toon, thank you, David. Yeah, hit the likes and subscribe as well. Also subscribe to MAISY'S Devils United as well, please. Can't stand Skies with Christmas. Paul Merson. He's a flopper, isn't he? Casemiro and Rashford giving Haaland a run for Player of the Year. Horrible this year, but it is true. I didn't mean with them yet. Playing yesterday was a typo. Yes, Paul. I thought that. Big up to Brian and Miron as well. Foxy and Get Toon top on John. How dare she? Only joking. Please do not be offended. She's lovely. John, thoughts on your defense and Sven Botman. Our defense, best defense in the league. 15 goals conceded. Sven Botman's been absolutely fantastic at the season. The last few games is a little bit like that, but he's one of the better players. And Fabian Schär has done all right this season, the best he's played for a long, long time. So, yeah, that's the answer. And we aren't here to be popular, we had to compete. How annoying that is, I had to ask here. Wow. That's what Eddie Howe said earlier on. Let's go for the combined 11, Macy, if you don't mind, right?
That's fine with me.
And we're going to go for it as well. I know you're busy as well. I know you are. And
I'll be rested anyway after the show, trying to recover the best way I can. How can I say, I'm 90% recovered, so still not over the best, but you know, you can't miss the final show, can you? To be honest,
and absolutely. That's why we got you on here, because you are, you're my favourite. So right, we're going to pick first on form. I mean, it's not just that the players you would pick for the final. So let's start in goal. It's just going to be your choice. In goal,
Nick Pope. Oh, he's not. He's banned. I'd have to say De Gea then, because I haven't. We haven't seen Karius play yet for Newcastle, so it's hard to say on how he will play. Do you get what I mean?
I do. And the thing is, right? I mean, I can't lie. It has to.
I would have said Nick Pope if he was there. I would have said Nick Pope without a doubt. That's why I was like Nick Pope.
Oh, good try, but we have to help you there. Let's go to the right back.
Trippier for me. What about you, John?
I'll go for Sam as well. To be fair, because we just he's been outstanding this season as well.
100%.
So I mean, and what about on the other side, opposite side, the left back?
I know you have Dan Burn there, but Luke Shaw's been incredible this season, so I'd have to go with Luke Shaw.
100%. I like Dan, but he's not a naturalised left back. Great defender, done a brilliant job left back. I want my left back to play left back.
Yeah, you want someone. I think for me with Dan Burn is, I think he's great, but at time to time he can lose his one-on-ones. I think that's the only problem with Dan Burn, and as you've said, he's not a natural fullback, so he is more for me defensive duties than he is going forward duties. And I think the thing is, I think for me, in my opinion, if every single fullback was fully fit, Reece James is the best fullback in the world, just based off what he could do. There's not many fullbacks these days who could do defending and going forward. And knowing that his injury record, Trippier for me is the best fullback in the league, because after Reece James, it's Trippier who could do both. And apart from that, there's no other fullbacks for me who could do both.
Yeah, totally agree. What you said there, Mace, you're absolutely right. I mean, you got Matt Targett haven't played for a couple of months, been injured. Dan Bunn's not a recognised left back. Do you know what I mean? But there's only two players that can actually play left back as well. Jamal Lewis hardly feature. Simple as that. But this is a player that kept Chiesa in his pocket for Northern Ireland against Italy. So, but yeah. So we're going for those. What about your centre back on the left side?
I'd have to go with the two I had in mind was Martinez and Botman.
Right.
They'd be the two I'd have. But what would you have though, John?
I'd go the same. I mean, just going to pick players on them who's going to be making it to the final sort of thing. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Martinez has been absolutely fantastic.
Put this
Sadro.
No, take the R out. There you go.
Lisandro.
There you go.
That's the one. Lisandro. Yeah, he's been outstanding this season. Shaky start, but he's been outstanding. Let's be honest about that one. Let's go for the midfield three. I think we know what you're going to go for.
My midfield. I definitely have two in mind, and that would be Casemiro and Bruno. Newcastle Bruno, but I'd have Casemiro defensively, and then I'd have Bruno in the 8 role, and because I know we can play both. But for me, I think yous are a better. Right now he is playing more defensive, But that's why you need a defensive midfielder so you can get that best there out of Bruno.
I changed that. Sorry, I changed that.
Oh, it's okay.
So it's Casemiro there.
Yeah.
And
who would you have in your midfield three?
Midfield three. Oh, it's going to be a tough one, but you got gonna have to have. Oh, damn it! Sorry, for me, I would have to bring the three you mentioned: Casemiro, Fernandes, and Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah, I meant Bruno Guimaraes as well to have.
So if I type that.
But yeah, I'd have Bruno Fernandes in there as well.
Sure.
I think
got to be Fred as well. I mean, Fred's been outstanding as well for the last few games. I can't even lie. But at the end of the day, I mean, you've got to find a place for Fred. But at the end of the day, we've gone with those three. And that's going to be as close as you can get. And who would you go for on the left side of mid?
I'd have to go for Rashford on the left. I know people would say him in the middle, but I think we had Rashford's better games on the left-hand side.
Cool. Fair enough. And on the right side?
Almiron for me.
Fine. And who would you have up front? This is key.
Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson. So what we got here, that's going to be our combined 11. It's going to be.
Is there anything you change?
For me, for the start, I want to change. I would have played Isak in front of Wilson. To be fair.
Oh really?
Then I would have played Fred, in the midfield as well because he's been outstanding. But who do I take out of those three?
That's what I mean. And Joe Linton, he was very unlucky to be missed. I just think for me is that I think Isak is great, but he hasn't fully found his feet for me at Newcastle, just because of Callum Wilson being in and out injured, and we know Callum Wilson would always be the preferred option over Isak. But I think when Callum Wilson's on his day, he is bloody brilliant.
He is on his day when he's not injured a lot and he's match fit. He'd be absolutely outstanding, 110%. I've got so many comments in the chat as well. Sorry I won't be able to read them out. I do apologise, but we do the best we can. So that's going to be our combined 11. Are you happy with that, Mace?
I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that?
I am indeed. I mean, I know Joe Linton's unlucky, very, very, very unlucky. And also Fred's unlucky as well. And you look at the front, I mean, Sancho's been playing well off late. And Garnacho's been playing well of late as well. So I have no problems with that at all whatsoever. Got a message on Twitter, watching your show with Mace. Big up, by the way. Love the program you use for the combined 11. What's it called? It's called John Sinclair TV, Mick, if you listen to it. And it's called John MAISY'S Show. Just hit us up and also follow Devils United too. So that's combined 11. I'm going to take that off as well. And we go through the comments as well before we get with prediction. Triple also wanted to be back in the UK for family reasons. Yeah, that's true. There we go. It's Craig again. Not a chance. Turn us back on Champions League 2 relegation battle. We talk about Trippier, saying about it's a project, it's for the money. Craig, I love you, but you know me thoughts on it. So Kieran Trippier wanted to come back to the north for family reasons. Newcastle came knocking his could you turn down regardless of league position. There's an excellent project here. There you go. It's an excellent project. And Trippier, even though we were after him, made a very good choice. Nine Rangers disgrace. We're going to touch on them in a minute, by the way. And I don't know if you saw it as well, Mason.
I've seen
absolutely
Adam's
disgraceful. Shocking. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, I hope he gets nippers. I'm not going to say him anymore because at the end of the day, it just winds us up. It's a Red Friday. Shout out to me, guys. Thank you, Eddie. And I'd rather J7 on the left to start for this game. He gives Burn so much cover. I think the game will be too open if ASM starts on the left. That could be a fair shout there. Big up to MEFC Realist. Great guy is as well. And I heard, and thanks for the message, by the way. Yes, I appreciate that, mate. I heard that those going down by caution are parking behind the Manchester United end. Very interesting. Murphy to score 6-0 bicycle kick, just you watch. That'll be Delco wait 40 year and he still won't do it. He is indeed. Sabitzer, if he starts off the bench, does like a distant goal as well. I've seen some crackers before, by the way, let's be real. Trippier, Boone and Botman, etc. All want to lift the trophy at Newcastle and beat mentality. Very true. 2 more days, all banter, Simon, mind you, I respect them a hell of a lot, like never, but respect, yes, that's a Brian. Brian. We got to Macy John. How do you think Eddie will approach Ten Hag? Will he sit back? For me, we're going to give it a go. We can't sit back to the whole of the game. Otherwise, let's be real, we're going to get absolutely slaughtered. I don't think we get slaughtered, but we could run into problems as well. We would test Man U on Sunday as well. Should be a great match. Absolutely. 50-50 game. Can you please subscribe, like, and help Ward John Grower's channel and Macy as well? Thank you very much, Steve. Share the love to Leslie, by the way. Share the love to her. Honestly, things are going to be a bit scrappy game. We press high and don't give teams much time on the ball. If Man U can play through that, where we may be in a bit of trouble. And got them from Craig as well. Big John, see you in the morning. If I don't see you, have an amazing time. I hope you smash the Manx. Just remember, Manx Fashion Week, you against United, against City. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. I love that as well. I love Craig, by the way. He's my guy. Absolutely my guy all the way. And David Cooper was on VR and failed to send this episode off. Yes, I remember that. What you got to say about that, Macy?
It was a red card, and I can't deny that. And I do think that we was very, very lucky to be on like for him to be on the pitch. But I think for me, David Cooper's made some terrible decisions in the past. I'm sure, like there was a couple of Chelsea games. I think he was refereeing news against Chelsea, and Kai Havertz should have got a red card. And there was another one as well with Chelsea versus Wolves, and Wolves are absolutely robbed. I just think for me, he's an overall poor referee. I think he's crap, but I can't really name any referees what are good either, if you want me to be honest. I could probably referee blindfolded better than these lot. They're idiots. But I've always said my suggestion is with referees, why can't we like just how we do in the World Cup, why can't we have a mixture of all nationalities of referees? Send some of the English referees to other countries and bring like some Spanish referees, some German referees, some Portuguese referees. Just then we've got a mixture of everything, because you see the standards of refereeing in Germany and Italy, for instance, their caliber of refereeing is so much better compared to England. I think Spanish referees are just near enough as bad as the English referees, if you want me to be honest. But Portuguese referees, they'll give a yellow card for bloody blowing you in the face. So, but German referees and Italian referees are brilliant. So I don't see why we can't have a mixture of all different referees.
I agree. Just make it a national football's a national sport, so it should be referees, international referees as well. Because some of the referees in our country is an absolute joke.
Oh yeah,
a disgrace. Coots did Union Manchester through a lot of good Man U years. I'm sure he is very strongly Man U. Lots of Man U friends, etc. The cartel work. Andrew, he is a Notts County fan. I'm going to see where you come from, but he is a Notts County fan. And Brent from Cape Breton, Canada here. Big up to you, Brent. I hope you're okay and hope you're doing well. And Macy, I hope you are behaving. Of course you are. Both sides pretty well healthy for Sunday's game. You know what? I'm looking forward to the match on Sunday. I'm ready to go. Isak and Maxi start second half and Man U run out of steam and damage them. That's from Lee. He wants Isak and Maxi a sub, and I can see where he's coming from. And let's have a look as well. And even Mickey won the MLS Cup at Atlanta United, but I see what I mean. Quick is one of the refs who didn't specify the support team on his EP application. Not saying he's a Man U fan, but what he's got to hide exactly.
He's announced now that he is a Notts County fan, because the FA had to release it after all with the fake screenshot what got thrown around. So he announced it last week. He was a Notts County fan.
Absolutely, absolutely. So winners on both sides, so makes it more fun. We're both winners, by the way, and we are both winners. And as I said, Liverpool world-class loose, that's some Devils. If most Man U fans were like Macy, I wouldn't have a problem with them. Most are stuck up their own backside or look down on others.
I must be honest, Man United fans annoy me, so I can only imagine what they do with other fan bases. They annoy me.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have to go with that as well. I've seen it as well. John, look out for Jerry Rafferty on Birkhead Street. Do you know who he is, Jerry Rafferty?
Who?
He's a singer, and he had a hit single called Baker Street.
Oh, okay.
So I said, listen to myself, Dave. I was on Toon's channel the other day, but I agree. Some of our fans are arseholes. Most fan base, Liverpool's are the worst for me. MAISY'S an absolute saint. She's absolute mint as well. Gareth's a good, decent keeper. Just mentality. The obvious question, there's a reason he's only played 4 league games since 2021 season. Hope he gets his career back on track with a good performance. That's from Foxy. And I hope he does as well. I'll be back in this guy 110%. A massive part toward Miggy's form was due to Bruno's link-up play with him. Bruno has been out and he's been off it. He scored 1 goal. That's from Paul. And just man, Gareth should be fine. People all around Europe are rooting for him. Do you know what it is? That's what I want to hear. Absolutely right. And he just needs time, but fair then, Mears. I just think he's an electric player to watch. That gives us all maybe a few bad habits in there, but that's just his personality. Respect Mears. That's an Reese as well.
But that's about Anthony. It's not even just about his personality. Like, outside of the football, it annoyed me that he was video recording whilst he was driving on the motorway. That annoyed me. Because not like whilst that was happening, I literally was in a car crash the week before because a lorry went into me. And that annoyed me because I was like, I am a sensible driver with a black box, and you've got people like him there driving on the motorway, videoing itself, and that I must be honest, that annoyed me, and that annoyed me off the pitch. But on the pitch, he annoys me that he don't cross. He doesn't do his one-on-ones. He only passed to certain players. I've only ever seen him pass to Ericsson, and Bruno, and Casemiro. He doesn't pass for Rashford. He doesn't pass to Martial. He doesn't pass to Weghorst. He doesn't pass to Sancho. Why is that? And it's just the little things like that what genuinely annoy me. I've taken away things. He's probably a nice person, don't get me wrong, but just he needs to snap out them things because I think he thinks he is an undroppable player, and he isn't an undroppable player. No one in that squad is undroppable.
Absolutely, you're in it to compete. It's as simple as that. No one don't guarantee his place. It's like ASM. I mean, he hasn't played first team for a couple of months, and he has to realise that he's got to play for a team. Simple as that. But you're absolutely right. But I hope Andy improves. But after our game on Sunday night, questions on Ericsson so far? He's a miss, by the way. That guy's brilliant.
I miss him. He's my favourite player. He's my favourite player.
Bless you. We wrap up these comments as well. It's the end of the world. The Glaziers say they wouldn't stand a chance with Ashley. Wow. And Miron, I have got our positions of stats respectively right players. That's from Reese. Famine share cost us 3 million quid. Absolutely 3 million quid for Deputy Rakurunia. Mace, who do you think will start on Sunday for United? Big up Mick, by the way.
Big up Mick. I think De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, Rashford, Weghorst, Anthony.
Fair. That's a fair one there. For me, it'd be it's going to be Carrison, Gore, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, and Dan Burn. Midfield 3, it's going to have to be Bruno, Joe Linton, and Sean Longstaff. Front 3, ASM, Miggy, and Isak for me. But
Longstaff always puts on a 10 out of 10 performance against us. He always does. I hate it.
Oh, bless you. And I hope he does it. I hope he does it.
I remember, overall, he would be poor for the majority of the season, and then he'd always put on a world-class performance every time against Man United, every single time. And I hate playing against this guy.
Oh, bless you. You do love him though, really, don't you? Oh, no comment. No comment. Oh, bless you. Sounds daft, but you do think how there's a slope in the pitch at St James's. Do you think that didn't help Nick Pubs last week against Liverpool? I didn't know there's a slope at St James's Park, but if it is, that's very, very odd. But he should not have done that anyway. Simple as that. I think Wilson St just catch up with him. To be honest, he's been off the pace for weeks now. Also missing chances you normally put your house on to score. I was going to mention that as well. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to cuss him, but to be honest, we definitely did a striker. The thing is, man, you're desperate to win this because they're used to winning things and haven't for a while. We want to win it just to start our mission. That's from Andrew. Big up to Andrew, by the way. Eddie House is Newcastle's best manager since Sir Bobby, in my opinion, and ETS is the best manager you've ever had in years. Just Joseph's most successful post Fergie. The one that does this right is Ten Hag. And go through a couple more and then probably wrap up, get your score predictions as well. Eddie's done more than one season than the last match has done in 10. Lee, you're absolutely right, mate. If Ten Hag went on a bad run of form as Man U manager, they'd be shouting for the rooftops for him to be sacked, but wouldn't blame it on the Glazers or Ronaldo.
We do always sing Glazers out if we're losing or winning. That's always been a thing with Manchester United. We've always called. I don't know why a lot of people seem to think that we only call for the Glazers out when we lose. But if you was actually at Old Trafford, we chant it even when we're winning. The actual people who go to Old Trafford, it's just these silly people and who on social media who call it when our transfer window is good or when we lose it. But if you go to Old Trafford, I know as a Newcastle fan you won't, but we do always chant Glazers out.
Absolutely. I got Northern 2000 here. Come on, Eddie the lads. Northern, if you hit the subscribe button, please, that'd be amazing. Thank you very much indeed. And would you take Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan?
They play different positions compared to Maguire. Maguire's a centre back. Dumfries is a right wing back. But compared to the wing backs that we do, actually, the full backs that we have on the right of Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, quite evidently we do need a full back. I think Dumfries is good, but my personal choice would be Baku from Wolfsburg. I think he's outstanding. I love Baku. He'd be the one I would personally take. Before we went to Tottenham, I would have took Spence as another option, or I would have took Porro. But they both went and killed their careers by going Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah.
Wow, Baku's a good player, by the way. I'm also very impressed with this guy. He's a big lad as well. He's a big unit as well. Chelsea fans, I feel so happy you didn't break their defensive record. Oh, yes. I love it. Good evening to you, Eddie. I hope you came, miss, with a good stream. Greetings or in the chat. Thank you, Eddie. You're a top guy as well. Good to see box office Macy back and feeling well.
Thank you.
And Liverpool Samba status quo down. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Would it be fun if it happened, man? Do you know what I mean? De Gea Garris is still on PTSD from his Champions League days. Well, I hope he does well on Sunday. And Reece got squad in De Gea, Trippier, Botman, Martinez, Shaw, Castle, Bruno Gamache, Bruno, Amo, and Isak Rashford make combined 11. Yep, Botman and it's Varane as well. His names haven't been mentioned. Dan Burn hasn't been mentioned too. Centre backs for me, Martins and Cher. Have to say, big up to Andrew and Devils. Loving the chat between you two. Absolutely fantastic. Reece is a fantastic guy. I'd love to get Reece on my show at some stage. You know what I mean? I really would. Botman over in King Varane? No way. But Botman's been outstanding, by the way.
You couldn't not add one of the Newcastle centre backs in. You really couldn't, because as we've already mentioned, they've got the best defence in the league. Varane, he's been absolutely brilliant. I call him a Rolls Royce, and a lot of people like to compare Varane and Martinez to Vidic and Rio. I think Vidic and Rio was definitely one of the best centre back pair in Manchester United history, but I actually do prefer Varane over Rio Ferdinand, and the reason is that I think, I don't know if you agree with this, John, but for me with Rio Ferdinand, he can get exposed from time to time, and sometimes Vidic was the one who would bail him out, and you look at somewhere. Some of the mistakes were caused by Rio Ferdinand, so I think overall Varane is a much better centre back than Rio, but Vidic and Real's the best centre-back duo, and it's just about the timing of, are they going to be better? Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah. I think Vidic is class, Macy.
Vidic was brilliant.
Oh,
but
man, he was absolutely fantastic. What he should never have done, he should have gone to Inter Milan, and his career got cut short there. I think when he went to Inter Milan, I thought he would have been fantastic, but injuries just played him up. I think we got rid of him at the right time, unfortunately. But you know what it is, right, with Vidic? That guy could defend properly, and he is one of the best defenders in the world football. Him. And that's why they don't say that when he comes to Serbia, he's going to murder you for a reason, because that guy could defend properly. Let's be real.
I must be honest though, there's one centre back that I'd prefer in terms of Manchester United more than Vidic, and that's Yapstam. Yapstam. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. He could take on 5 players and he would still win.
Wow.
That was how good he was.
Wow, you're absolutely right. But he totally opened his mouth about the book we did Michael Owen. That's why he just got into Lazio. And to be fair to him, he played for AC Milan as well. And I tell you what, he was magnificent in the Italian league. Let's be real. He was absolutely outstanding as well. So we'll go for this as well. I do apologize, I'm not ready to comment site because I've got so many. Fred has got a heart of a champion, unbreakable. Fred awesome recently, but not consistent. Fred and Julian are similar. They both never give up on anything. That's Paul. Early share for Botman, I change, and that's harsh on Botman. He's been great too. He has. I mean, Fox is a massive Fabian fan as well. I'll go 3-2 United. Should be a quality game.
I'm not liking this. Why have you predicted for us to win, rather?
Because he wasn't in your good books, mate. That's all it is.
Take back your prediction, rather. Predict us to draw or lose. Quick, now. Every time Ravi has predicted us to lose or draw, we win.
Absolutely.
So, Rav, change your prediction, please.
Thank you. Listen to Macy, we get wrong. And you should be Sky Source % out. You'd be fantastic. Excellent project, and we have so ahead of schedule at St. Paul. We are indeed. No Ranger is a scumbag. Leave it as that. Great show. Good night to you, Jules. So I'll be at Wembley tomorrow, and I'll be doing retweets, etc. And you said get well soon to you as well.
Thank you.
And Julie J is lovely. She really is. Always on my channel as well. Big up. And if we win the final, it's massive for us moving forward. The kickstart, we need to progress as a club. That's St. Paul. And I'll kick out the English refs and have German and Italian refs all day long. Said that for years. I think Ukraine and Poland have good refs as well. Absolutely. And they're tough as well. And referees massively went downhill since they was introduced. It's there to help. It's helped them not to do the job. So they're far too reliant on it as well. They were quick to send up Bruno, but yes, I'm afraid to say he had to go. And Anthony Taylor is rubbish also. The fast great tool to use, but they just don't know how to use it properly. It's just annoying. That's an Reese. Just go for some. Man, you don't run out of steam. They have Ganacho. That's an Isla Coffee. And Emirates release is saying 3-1 to United on current form. And Lions and Newcastle are zebras. It's either a choice of being a hunter or be hunted. Very interesting. And just go through as well. Mark Gorbich annoys me. He starts arguments with himself. What do you think of Gorbich, by the way, Mark Gorbich?
He's a twit. He's a genuine twit. Literally, he's one of the people who put a bad name into Manchester United, the Manchester United fan base. He's a genuine idiot.
Do you think he represents you guys? Does he really?
No, he don't represent. What? Just because he's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, that means he is the voice of Manchester United? No,
not at all.
No, it's the people who go to Manchester United at Old Trafford. They're the ones who represent Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know what it is, Mason? You're totally right. 110%. I'm not being funny, right? But at the end of the day, I don't have an association with Mark Gorbich, by the way. But he likes to argue with himself, right? If I had some subscribers to him, I'll still be the same person. I'll still invite people like you and Tony and PD Prowlock and all the other people as well. Because you know why? I'm the fans of the fans. and I like to chat to different people. Do you know what I mean? So, end of the day, right? I'm no different. I'm happy, and I'm just the people's people, like you are as well. So, and she's right. Longstaff follows up his game against Man U. Hope he does it again on Sunday. Longstaff has a long-time performance in coming. That reminder of his goal.
Oh.
Again, some people on social media, especially our fan base, man. I was just posted out a tweet, right, saying that I'm going to be in Trafalgar Square. If you do see us, hit us up, take photos, get autographed as well. And, people just getting funny about it, get stuffed, you know what I mean? Go give your age a shake. Longstaff's going to show up. Mace, there's a slope. There's a slope from not the famous end of famous end to end of drainage. Big up to Leslie. Please hit the like, subscribe, and it's all to share your socials as well. I think I'm going to come on to the score predictions, by the way. How do you think it's going to go, and how do you think it's going to come?
I think it's going to go to extra time, not penalties, but I'm going to go for 2-1 Manchester United at extra time. I think it'll go to 1-1 in the 90, and then it'll go to extra time. How do you see the game going, John?
For me, I'm going to say if we're going to win it, we have to do it in 90 minutes. But I just keep flipping and flopping all the time. Do you know what? I'm going to say extra time. I'm going to go to penalties. I hate to say it. I'll say 2-1 Newcastle. But if you look at it, I'm going to go penalties as well for me, because it's going to be a 50-50 game. I've always said it's going to be a 50-50 game. I think it's going to be to penalties as well. I did say 2-1, but having United's been on form, I'm going to say once each, extra time, penalties for me. And I don't really want to say
make me cry. I hate penalties. The thing is, what I hate about penalty shootouts is that it doesn't justify the way you've played in the entire football match, because yourselves, Newcastle, you could have 21 shots on target, but if you go to penalties because of that, because of, for instance, you might not put you could have been the better side overall, but then you lose on penalties, you'd be annoyed because you'd be like, mate, I've just put on a bloody good performance here, and then I've lost that on penalty shootouts. What doesn't really justify the way the game is played. It doesn't justify how it's gone.
Exactly. Totally agree. Simple as that. Again, you talk sense. I don't need to add anything to that, because you're absolutely right, Macy. Do you know what I mean? You're spot on.
And taking it away, that's one of the reasons why I hate the away goals being taken out of European football, because for me, away games, that's showing the way the team had played in the previous game, because they score 4 goals away, so they should have that fair advantage, whereas now you've got to still go at home and you've still got to win.
Well said. You got there to win it. You got to do it. You got to win it all the time. Simple as that. And you know what it is, right? I mean, I don't want to see teams sitting back, play for draws, Macy. I don't. I want to see them have a go, right? It's an entertaining game, right? And for me, if it comes to a draw, it ends in a draw, as long as you give you all. But I've seen games way back in the 80s and 90s, teams in finals plays for draws, not having a go, right? And it's just blows the pants out of us, right? That's wait for penalties, yeah? So I don't want to see that. I want to see us both have a real goal. We've got attacking intent. We can win this game. You can win this game. It's all about who wants it on the day. So, Cooler Bramble. 2-1. Lewis says 2-1 to the Toon. I'm sticking with my score, Mace. That's a Ravi. Great banter, John. Thank you for Alan. Yes, Alan. Be nice to see Dan Bone doing a stand if he win. I hope he does. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. Manchester have a new, as now, a Bermuda Triangle. Its formation is Martinez, Varane, Casemiro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Casemiro. I would love to say Casemiro, but I cannot. I'm not a red. Sorry. Imagine being the fan of Mark Goldbridge, the Nottingham Forest fan. Absolutely not. He is a Nottingham Forest fan, by the way. Man, you go 2 up Rash for the first half. A BD blooper makes 2-1. It is to equalise 2s each. And before Ungold puts 3-2 up and referee ruled a penalty, 3s each. Carries to save the pens. Can you imagine that? If Carries saved the pen?
Mad. That is absolutely mad. And that was a very detailed prediction as well from our Goffer. That was imagine the odds on that.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. totally agree. I cannot wait for the Sunday come on. That's a Lou. And I remember that prediction. ILC, copy bonkers, fair play to him. I meant there's a slope from not the famous end of the Gallagher's to help with drainage. You know what, Lewis? That's the first time I know about it, mate, about this drainage, but I'll double check it again next time I'm up. This weekend looks like the Premier League are using Ukrainian flag at the armband. That's the first one I heard as well. But if that's the case, that's really good. Do you know what I mean? And this has been such a phenomenal show. Thank you, Reese. And people like you has been phenomenal to my channel as well, mate. And it's good to have a red on my channel as well. And we definitely get you on very, very soon. And yeah, that's going to be it then, Macy. We've been on for an hour and a half, which is worth it. And did you enjoy coming back on my show?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, John. It's been very good. It has been great to chat and catch up to you as well.
Do you know what? I have missed you. I really have missed you. And you know what? Without you, there wouldn't be a channel. Do you know what I mean? But loving the show, Box Office This and Big John, been awesome. Thank you, Abby, as well. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but he does love you as well, Macy. He respects you. I'm sure he does. Or is he a wine-up merchant to you, or not really?
Nah, he's nice. He's nice.
He's Ivy Tilly. He's Ivy, respectful. Goldbridge's definition of a casual football fan. Very clever guy, though. Played the game to perfection to get the bag. There's a DJ that's done the same recently with Newcastle. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
And for the captain's armband, I think it's because it's a 1-year anniversary, sadly, of the war. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, that's a good touch there, Lewis, if that's the case. Wolves are winning by goals have just scored.
Gutted. It's against full. Oh, no, Sarabia scored. I don't know if I feel happy or sad now, because Sarabia is an ex-Sporting player, but then I like Palhinha, who's also an ex-Sporting player for Fulham.
You love to have an old chap. You love to have an old chap, would you?
Now I'm torn. But
bless you.
I'm happy for Sarabia. It's his first goal for the club, so hopefully many more for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad you I like coffee, my guy. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and hope you enjoy the game as well on Sunday. Love to you, John and Macy. Leslie, I love you as well. We all love you. Even my partner loves you as well. And anytime, thank you and good fun. And back and forth, killer class duo. That's from Reese as well. And Macy, can you like to give your shout out to your socials, please?
Yep, my YouTube is Devils United. Manchester United content on there, both men and women's football. And I did have a bit of a break just because I haven't been feeling so well, but I will be back on again on Sunday. I'll be doing a calling show. So when you don't have to be a Manchester United fan to call into the channel. It will be an hour before the game. It'll be a warm-up. So even if you are Newcastle United fan, or if you're any other fan bases and you want to give your opinions on the game, call in. We'll have a bit of a chat. That's my YouTube on there. And my Twitter, I did change the handle. It's at 2_ MAISY'S1012. That's my new Twitter handle. I changed the Twitter last week or so. So yeah, that's my Twitter. That's my YouTube. So go and check it out. And thank you again, John, for having me on. It's been a while, but it's a good catch up.
You are so welcome as well. We've got to do the show again at some stage, you know what I mean? Because we've got to do it, because at the end of the day, it's probably that people keep asking us, when are you going to have Macy back on, blah, blah, blah. And I tell you what, it is an amazing show as well. And we've got to do it again very soon. Very, very soon. Thank you again. I hope to see you on Sunday. Yes, Lewis, I'll be there, mate. I'll be going to Trafalgar on Saturday, and I'll be going to Big Ash Street on Sunday. Probably the Weather Spoons. I'll be there. And then I may not even get to the Box Park. Unfortunately, I haven't got a ticket, but I should be around. Hit us up on that one, Lewis. And I'll do the same to you, my guy. Germany, Ukraine has always been marked as a friendly to Fulham. Absolutely. What's going on in Ukraine is so sad, people. It really is. And it needs to be stopping right now. Thanks for your kind words, Mason John. That's from Rabi as well. Have an awesome time. Thank you, Ravi. I appreciate that. And we'll be at Wembley Way. That's when Mr. York himself, he is so passionate and he talks Newcastle all day long. And got one more here from Reese. New handle, new attitude, still the queen.
That's nice. Thank you.
Exactly. So listen, all the links, MAISY'S links in the description there. And if you like to like my channel, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you like the super chats as well, please do so. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Thank you for Ian Eckard again for a £20 super chat. I appreciate that. And also a massive thank you for Reese for your kind donation of £5 as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much indeed. And maybe I'll have a quick review backstage quickly as well. One more comment as well. Good show, Johnny. Join the weekend. Come on, the mighty Toon. And yes, I do. I love Newcastle. I do love Newcastle United. Lewis, we love you as well. But guys, thank you very much for in the chat. Thank you so much indeed. It's great to see you back. And I'll be with you quickly. And until then, I'll be at Wembley as well. And until then, guys, let's make sure that Newcastle United win their first trophy for 68 long years. And you lot 6 years as well. So let's make history. And until then, guys, it's a weird Toon and it's a good night.